G'day, welcome back to my Oxygen Not Included playthrough as we continue to just survive, I guess. Alright, so what I really want to do is thank you for those that explain sort of obviously what my issue is here, and it's overheating. This guy's going at 300 degrees and he hasn't got water in there, and there's also the carbon dioxide in there. So the first thing that I really need to do is get that carbon dioxide out. So that is now looking at this tubing that we've got and what the current state of play is and that. And we are so close. So let's actually no, it's 4 pieces. So let's make this an absolute emergency. Oh, I guess we'll have to make the ladder an emergency too. Let's just get all that saying this needs to be done now. No messing around. The other thing is the point of these 2 smart batteries. Let's actually get that in play. So I don't know if we'll be able to. Might have to build a ladder just temporarily through the middle of this room for them to reach that. I mean, that hasn't gone, so they must be able to build all that way across. So what we need to do is use the smart batteries to actually sort of correctly manage these guys' thresholds. So we'll wait for that wire to be built, and then we'll come back to working out the way we do this. The air in this room is it's 50 or 80 degrees or so. So that water's getting nice and warm, so possibly this turbine's going to kick in soon. We have made progress there. They've built the tube. So we're 3 down, 4 to go. Where's your health a little bit low there, Ashcan? So I mean that should be it then. That like the ladder now doesn't matter. Let's check if that's the case. There we go. That's what we've been waiting to see. Now this guy we have to disable now, right? Because oh, he's disabled. He's disabled. Good. Because I was gonna say, because otherwise, once steam kicks in, he's gonna start just like burning steam. Now, can't help but notice too, this tubing's not happy because it is gases that are operating at 110 degrees is what's powering through them. So, I suppose the thing is that it's such a cheap thing that I'm using that I'd actually rather them just sort of like struggle through this than address the problem correctly. So to me, that's fine. All right. Assuming that that's actually the contents of the liquid pipe there. Let's have a look at that. So this is currently our piping going to get more liquid up here, going well. This guy is our piping to get sort of just right. That's liquid that's too hot. He's sort of sending back. So how much? What's the temperature at? Like 26 degrees. So not too bad, but our water is still on the rise here. 25 degrees is our thing. Let's make it 24 for no reason whatsoever. And stay at 25, below 25. Ah, that's fine. And this guy will just make sure he actually is below 25 as well. just that he must be dealing with a different breed of water. Now, the thing I wasn't sure about, let me just double check it. I suppose the problem is that if I had another filter, I could actually have that filter distinguish which is the what's the polluted water, and then just have that go straight into here as it comes up, as opposed to making it go back in here, get caught in here, and then go. But I suppose that the way that this filter's working and it's sending down this way, this guy's still getting a plenty of clean water anyway, so probably not too big a deal. Definitely glad to see that this guy's now pumping. This guy has no power. Alright, cool. So the generator idle here hopefully means that good. They've got actual stuff. The low threshold that we are going to set, though, is 70%. Really, if we've got enough power going, they should just be constantly moving. So we can have them sort of running at a percentage that means that unless the whole system's, like, if the system's winning, then they're not going to do anything, but if the system's falling against itself, then we can go. Definitely love to see how much natural gas I've got in this room. He's not pumping, though, because this pipe is blocked. His overpressure is the problem now. So let's... I mean, he's... It's not like this guy's not doing his work anyway. I really should look at a gas sort of canister, because you can see that this is... I suppose it's sort of... It's not fully full there. I mean, there's polluted oxygen and things at the top there. I mean, we can continue to dig this out a little bit. And just make a little bit more space in that room. I do want to make sure that this doesn't overpressure. Well, no, rather that it doesn't sort of run out of options of where to go. What we could do is we can run that back to... say this guy's piping, if we can. Run it over to here, and then have this piping run sort of up and over. Let's think about positioning. Basically that we're just getting rid of carbon dioxide. Although I'm not sure that's all that this guy's pumping out. It really should be rare that he's pumping anything out, because there's nothing else in that room. He's just sort of complaining that he's overpressured, right? I think that probably the easiest solution here is let's just give him a an overpressure vent. So while you're there, can you just deconstruct that for me real quick, May? And at least once this room sort of goes, then all that extra sort of like pollution that's found its way in there, this guy will pump out. Let's just, well, let's call him a 9. We won't scream at the priority. I'm glad to be getting all of this water from there up into here. I mean, you can see that it is making this a very polluted water tank. However, don't forget that the water that we actually are cleaning in here isn't coming into, like, back in this room. It's sort of going out. Now, actually, that's going to eventually cause a problem for this guy. Because this guy here isn't actually a party to this tubing. So the second that... let me think about that. That actually makes a more compelling argument that we should have this switching to go in there, and then we just change this guy so that he's not doing that. Although I think that possibly the idea is that... have you got no power? Oh, that cable broke again, of course. I mean, not too mad about it. It's... This guy may as well try and get all of this carbon dioxide out of this room before that's done. We may as well try and get this liquid sort of in here. Now there's no real reason not to move this guy down so that he actually is in the liquid. So let's copy him and put him there. And then deconstruct, 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 deconstruct. Alright, cool. This guy's got his steam going on. I mean, he's still waiting for that to get hot enough. To reference this guy, it's sort of like it's got about 40 degrees still it needs to push up. See, there is still water in that room. A little bit of gas that we don't want in there too. Some polluted oxygen sort of hovering at the top. We'll see if that gets in the way. So the annoying thing is that's polluted water, and that's polluted water. So if I was to break these pipes, they would actually push polluted water into the system, which we don't want. So what we'll do instead, so that's the one pushing out. We do that, and then just copy this guy, and have this guy do this weird little like hook around. He's at least now submerged in water, so I would say we're fine to... That guy connected. Is that all lead? Yeah, it's all made of lead. See, this guy is still stopping. Someone did suggest that I get some gas. Automatically stores pipes, gases into canisters for manual transport. That doesn't really sound like what it is that I want, right? It sounds like what I've got to do is just make the piping longer. But as long as, I guess, this room isn't, like, completely filling, which it is, it's not a problem. But we basically want to make sure that we're getting as much gas as we can out of this guy while he is still, active. So I guess that's my first question for this one. Is there a way I can store that gas so that it can have, like, sort of excess, similar to this, like a liquid reservoir? And there's called a gas reservoir. Alright, let's have a quick look at... Oh, let's see what we're getting here. A glass. How long ago did that guy leave? Need to dig this stuff out, otherwise he won't be able to get back. Suppose we can dig out that again. That looks like that was broken at some point that I don't recall. Is that stopping the rocket from coming home? Probably. Not that they use this at all, but it is, I suppose, our backup for getting people out of here if this one does get blocked. Why is that Atmo suit on the floor? That would suggest that someone else has come through a different way, like they've... Is that actually what this blocking is? Let's cancel this for now, just in case that is, because I realized that you'd probably get here from coming this way. Current status empty. Current status empty. Current status empty. Current status empty. Is there someone else up here? There's at least one person up here, so cancel that request, because at least I know there's one suit mix up here. Is that Ellie? Catalina. Alright, good job. Ellie coming up to Rocket. What is that? Moldavite. Alright, so let's have a look at automation. I never remember which is which. So it's the middle one we want to flick. And it is this one we want to flick to extend out the thingy, which I think is booked at the moment, as it always is. Alright, so we can dig out that one too. Sweep that. Let's put it somewhere. Possibly it's going to be handy. Welcome home, Meep. Meep's got a full bladder. He's also not wearing a outfit. You doing okay, Meep? Are you going a little bit stir crazy? Be unassigned for now, mate. Now, I did say that that was going to be the last journey of my Steam. It's really funny, though, that Meep ran all the way down here to go to the bathroom. Now on his way back up. Okay, so research-wise, if we jump all the way down here, we're currently researching hydrocarbon combustion. So is that going to be easier? That one's liquid oxygen. Allows duplicants to store any liquid resource found during space missions. Sightseeing modules. Cargo bay. So I feel like that says that anything that I've got, hydrogen engines have the same generous height restrictions as petroleum engines, but are slightly faster. The engine must be built first before the rocket modules can be added. Liquid hydrogen. So because it's not here at all, it suggests that I already know how to make liquid hydrogen. Liquid hydrogen. Good oxidized tank for you. Not sure. Okay, so I'll have to... You know the answer to that one? How do I make liquid hydrogen? How are you doing too, by the way? I can see that my my temperature is down to 30 degrees back over here, so our plants are back up and alive. It is too hot for the guys down here. Contents of the pipe are still 15 degrees at that point. At this point up here, they're 20 degrees, 22 degrees, 23 degrees. So as they're coming out, they're 9 degrees. Overheating. Why are you overheating now? 58 degrees right there. Well, this tubing right here then. Let's get some radiant pipe. Make a liquid bridge that hops it. Make sure it is the right thing. Hops it this way. Goes insulated, down, insulated, up. That piece of piping there, deconstruct, do it with an emergency because it's currently empty. Did I say insulated? I meant radiant, didn't I? Radiant. Undo everything I've just told you and do it again. Doesn't really make sense that I got rid of that last piece of pipe because I want this to empty one way or the other. We'll see if it goes back up. I'm lucky. Actually, I'm finishing the... Did I not make a clear order for radiant for everything there? Let's try that again. Radiant, please. Great, and you can see that that piece of pipe there is emptied, so we can just say deconstruct each of these. Now what we're hoping to see here is that both of the contents of the see, this is what I think too. I think that it's quite warm in there, and it's in here as well. That I want it to be at the end of the journey. So possibly what I can do, I'll wait for this to get done. What I think is I go, it's so much piping here. What is that? Former, not to the former glory of nothing. Some deconstruct liquid pipes. Let's get rid of that. And yeah, all of that. That one's already going good. At least what by my accident of making that insulated, they built it nice and quick. So what they're doing is they're going to be replacing existing pipe, but it means that the loop is still going at the moment. I think what I should do is get this pipe to run sort of down here along through this section. Maybe out to these guys if there's a certain temperature that they don't like. Back through, because you can see that those guys are getting too hot as well. So anything that this water can do to sort of pull heat off it. But the radiant pipe's way more expensive than the way more expensive than the insulated pipe. So what we'll do is we will use insulated pipe briefly here. Go insulated down. Liquid pipe will deconstruct. Insulated down, 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 cross. Liquid bridge facing that way. Insulated. Cross. Pop. Pop. Insulated. Cross. Cross, cross, cross. Cancel those three. Go up. Straight up across there so we can get through that way. Down, down, down. Now the two, I think it's sort of like this level and then down through here. We go down, 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 down. Hit that. Then we turn radiant. Radiant, radiant. Liquid bridge. That way. Bridge that way. Radiant, radiant, radiant. Because basically all this has to do is be less than 50 degrees. And at the moment it's only 24 as it sort of passes through this section. So let's go to there. Let's send it up. Across. Down. Down, 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 down. Across. We can't get it to get through down here. Why? Oh, you're just thinking. Okay, so if we go one, that, and then say deconstruct him with utmost emergency. It's not getting used at the moment anyway because our levels are low enough. Alright, then we flip this guy around and we say jump. Oh. Let's deconstruct that with utmost emergency. And then we'll say copy that. We'll go across one more. Up, liquid bridge that way. Pipe that way, and then we want to go let's cancel. Then pop. Radiant. Pop. Radiant, 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 radiant. Radiant, radiant, radiant. And then we want to go up. Can remain radiant at that point. Someone can reach you there. No, they can't. So let's say cancel on that one square because everything else is acceptable. Radiant up. Cross. So this time it was insulated the first time across. This time it's radiant. So basically this is the last point it's traveling across. So this is where it's why did I hit a yellow alert? Oh, those ladders that I've got high priorities on. Okay. Because we're really only one more loop through this thing of actually hurting this aqua tuna. Radiant, copy. Okay, so we were radiant to here. Yeah, I think just one swing straight across there is fine. We will say deconstruct those liquid pipes right there. That one there with the utmost urgency. Sorry, oh, they already did it. Thank you. Copy. Now, at this point, they no longer need to be irradiant, actually, so let's go cancel. This is for saving money. Cancel. Plumbing, insulated, yes. Cross. Cancel. Construct that liquid pipe. An insane priority. Copy him. Liquid bridge. Okay. And then when time comes, we can just remove that one square. Then we'll see what that does to the heat of this water. Now, really with all this as well, what we now need to do is add more water into this system. We can quite easily do from this pipe here. See, there's huge gaps in this section already. So once that's all built, we in fact, if that well, actually we don't need to deconstruct it at this stage. At the point we deconstruct it, though, it doesn't even matter what it drops because that polluted water will just go into the water below it. So what we can do is we can just chuck a liquid bridge like that. With a just a liquid pipe in it like that. Now this liquid coming in here is currently 45 degrees. Hopefully what we see is that these plants can recover a bit too. I mean, it's only 40 degrees, 50 degrees in parts down here. No liquid output. Did I accidentally derail your... Oh, that's this guy complaining, not the thing behind it, right? Alright. I want to be finishing up soon, so let's try and get as much of this done as possible. The question is as well, what am I doing with much of that? Can I see how much of that stuff I've currently got on hand? Do we need to send another mission to get that? Our data banks. So I suppose I need to send another steam engine again. Let me know if that's the case. Or if you think I should be moving to one of the other ones. Definitely seems like I can't be heading to liquid petroleum just yet. This guy is still working it. Basically completely full. I wonder if what I should do... Let me know if there is a way to store the gas, or what I should be doing is actually just extending the length of the gas tubing to solve, or like, not solve this problem, but like give us more. Because you can see even like these two guys are slotting into it as well, so the amount that this guy at the back needs to move is definitely limited. what can I do to sort of make sure that this guy's not going dormant because he's getting blocked? Absolutely what we don't want down there. They are almost there with this, sort of. Let's try and see it done. So let's kick emergency priority for everything on this. So there's that section there. So then just this section's here of it. They're right on top of that. Now this section in here. Down here, so it is a little bit excessive, the amount that we're asking for alerts to be done on, but at least I'll get it done, right? Or is it just hitting nighttime? Ah, people work through the night, so it does feel like it is becoming a trickier thing than going and locating lead, though. No idea where they're finding lead, but glad they are. Alright, well, in the amount of time it took me to make those orders, they successfully knocked over that section and the section over here. Both positive. You can see that the liquid has actually moved through a lot of this pipe now. It's just getting up to these points that it needs to move. No liquid shifting north out of this pipe, though. Done that wrong? Right. Let's deconstruct that guy. And wait. Now he's pumping. Cancel. So now I can see that he's, I guess now the way in front of him's clear. He's shifting everything that way, which is fine. So what we want to do is we want to say deconstruct that. Emergency. We're now in go time. This full thing is now in swing. So what is good is that we're currently caught the moment where this guy can add all this new liquid while waiting for this to cycle back around. So apart from that section, you can see that the rest of that tube does look like it's pretty much full. So now that we've got that coming in, I'd say we're right to deconstruct that. Great, and we can say construct that part, no urgency on that. And if we have a quick look at the layout there, see that mess of a thing now runs through the whole base. I suppose the question now is, what's the temperature of that? 47 at the moment, so it's pushing it back out at 32. Let's see if that slowly improves, because assumably as this room gets cooler as well, you can see that that's dropped a few degrees from this as well. And a lot of this was just sitting in that tube for a while. So we'll see how that goes, if it's too far, if it's getting too hot. I mean, you can see by this point here, it's 47 degrees. But I like how, like, sort of backed up it is. It's like the pipe is now too full. Maybe I just need to extend it slightly somewhere to allow it to have a little bit more of a shift. I mean, it doesn't matter if it moves slow. If it's sucking out the heat, then it's exactly what we want anyway. But there we go. So yeah, so what should I be doing with the rockets? This guy's probably got enough water too, actually. Give him a little bit more. So we'll be close to getting rid of... I don't know how much water we want in there, but the more I put in, the longer it'll be till this guy actually can make steam. But also, there's currently no steam in this. But also, I don't want steam until this guy stops, so that's okay. But I suppose the big success of this one is that we finally have our carbon dioxide that's just getting jettisoned off into space. Which I wonder if I should possibly use for more that I'm getting. Sick. Alright, that's just a sound with an allergic reaction. Alright, any questions or comments, feel free to chuck them below. And until next time, catch you later. See ya.